Welcome back, Chapter 22. Because I had canceled 2 follow-up appointments with Dr. Alex, I decided to keep the appointment I had scheduled with her for 9 a.m. I figured I would have plenty of time since Jalicia's visiting hours didn't start until 11 a.m. I was not really in the mood to see the doctor since her new receptionist and then the doctor herself had left messages reminding me how important it was that I not miss my next appointment, and also chastising me for not taking my health seriously. They said they needed to see me as soon as possible to go over the results of my test, but the doctor was late, and I'd been sitting in this waiting room for 45 minutes. It was probably to punish me. In addition to worrying about my daughter, I was also a nervous wreck thinking about my A1C, which I knew without a doubt was higher than it was when I last saw her. But no, I had not changed my diet or eating habits, and no, I had yet to incorporate regular or rigorous exercise into my life. Miss Curry, the doctor is running behind schedule and wants to know if you could possibly give her 15 more minutes. She apologized for the inconvenience. Is she here? No, but she's on her way. She just left the emergency room at Huntington, so she'll be here straight away. May I get you a bottle of water? That would be nice, I said, because I had forgotten my bottle in the car, rushing so I wouldn't be late. What's your name? I asked. Jalicia, she said, and I almost lost it. She was of Spanish descent. That much I could see, and her straight black hair was down to her waist. Are you okay? She asked, apparently noticing my expression. I'm fine. That's my daughter's name, I said. I love my name, she said. Is she okay? Your face looks worried, Miss Curry. She's been struggling with depression. I couldn't believe I just said that. Aren't we all? You too? Oh, yes, but I got help. I'm not ashamed to admit it. It's just like any other illness. Believe me, working for a doctor helped me understand the stigma. So many people suffer from it, but just think it's the way they are. I learned the hard way that it's not. Then the phone rang and she had to answer it. Dr. Alex came storming through the door, her thin hair still sticking up like a rooster. And when she saw me, she said, "Hello, Miss Curry. I apologize for being late. I had a patient break her ankle and I had to see how much damage she'd done. Rollerblading. So good to see you after all these months. Come, follow me back to my office. Our appointment won't take long." My heart was pounding so loud I thought she might hear it. I was tempted to turn around and run out the door because I didn't want to hear that I might be terminally ill. I followed Dr. Alex, who was wearing a mint green smock, and it looked like she had dyed her hair a shade darker so I couldn't see her scalp. She was now a brunette. Here, have a seat, she said, and I did. Her office was colorful. The wall had little photos of Greece and Greek artifacts. Dr. Alex sat behind her wide oak desk and crossed her palms. So, your tests indicate you're having second thoughts about the medication. I don't know, and I owe you an apology, doctor. She started shaking her head. No, you don't. I get patients all the time who don't like my diagnosis or my prescriptions for medication that I know for a fact will help them. And like you, they lash out at me, but they often do return because I am a good doctor and still a bitch. So, how have you been feeling? So. That doesn't surprise me. Just tell me this, Dr. Alex. Am I dying? She looked shocked to hear those words come out of my mouth. What on earth would make you think that, Miss Curry? Because I know I haven't been eating right and I haven't been taking my medication and I haven't started exercising. I know my colon is okay and my bone density and my ears are okay, but I'm just worried. She pushed her chair back and walked around her desk and put her hands on my shoulders. I didn't realize I was crying, and she just said, "You're not dying, but I would like to thrash you for not taking your medication because your A1C is pretty close to 8.5. which is too high. I don't know why it's so hard for you to take diabetes seriously. You're a smart woman, so I'm sure you did your research. I shook my head to say, no, you're wrong, and then nodded to say, right, I have done the research. I hope she knew which was which. Relax, Miss Curry. We can get it under control if you take the suggestions I have given you a number of times over the past year. She patted my shoulders and then gave them both a big squeeze and walked back behind her desk and sat down. She handed me a tissue. Are you okay now that you know you will probably live to see 90? Yes. Can you hear me? Of course I can. And then she laughed. Good. That means your hearing is good. And I let out a chuckle. Is something else going on in your life? I folded my hands and told her about Poochie and my daughter. Now I understand, she said. And if it's any consolation, depression is very common and so many people don't know they're suffering from it. What are you doing to help your daughter? Nothing yet. She's been estranged from me for quite a long time. She's over at Huntington Hospital right now. Does she live alone? No, she lives with her aunt in Compton. Don't say it like I should be alarmed. My husband grew up there. And don't be shocked by that either. We were married 36 years. We were married 36 years. How old is your daughter? 41, I said. So, is she catatonic? What would make you ask that? That's usually how people suffering from untreated forms of depression end up in the ER. I nodded my head. Does she have any children? She has a daughter. She's in her 20s. Is she in her daughter's life? Every now and then. Drugs? She drinks more than anything, but I really don't know what all she does. All I know is I want to help her, but I don't know if she'll accept my help. Oh, she will. It still might take a while, but just try to be patient. They're going to treat her and give her antidepressants, but if she doesn't take them or keeps drinking, they're not going to help her. Have you been to see her yet? I tried, but my name wasn't on the visitors list. Try not to take that personally. Her thinking is just screwed. How many days has she been there? 4, I believe. Then the medication has probably brought her out of catatonia. So she'll be able to talk. I would really like to find her a good black psychologist and psychiatrist, preferably female. Would you happen to know any reputable ones? I do. And do this. Check your text message in about an hour because I'd like to call them both to give them a heads up about your daughter's situation. Then she came around the desk again, patted me on the shoulder. It's good that you're trying to help your daughter. Don't be discouraged if she refuses it at first. Thank you, Dr. Alex. But you have to start taking better care of yourself. Will you promise me? Yes. So that's it for me? That's it. I'll see you in 3 months and your numbers better be good. And I want to see at least 20 pounds less of you, but preferably closer to 30. There are some really good cookbooks for diabetics. And just so you know, you're also looking at a reformed diabetic. Am I a 62-year-old sex symbol or what? Okay, let's see if she's going to do it this time around. When I walked into the hospital, I was excited to tell Jaleesa all about the 2 reputable doctors I found for her, but she wasn't there. What do you mean she's not here? I was here last night and you told me to come back this morning to get added to her visitors list. Well, she was picked up by a relative this morning. What relative? Sorry, I can't release that information. But I'm her mother. I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do. As I turned to leave, I stopped dead in my tracks and turned back. If something happens to her, I'll be back to sue you for negligence. She's not well. I walked down to the cafeteria that looked more like a good deli and bought a slice of pepperoni pizza, a salad, a Diet Coke, and a chocolate chip cookie. Then after I slid my tray down to the cashier, I sat at an empty table and just looked at what was on it. I stood back, picked up the tray, walked over to the trash and dumped everything except the salad in it. Then I took my cell phone out and called Peggy. Is Jalecia with you? Yes, she is. Why? Because she asked me to pick her up. How? She wasn't in prison, Laretha. It was a hospital. She was able to call me and she said she wanted to come back to my apartment. I don't believe you. Is she there? I want to speak to her. Just a minute. I started tapping my right foot. Hi there, Mom, she said, as if she was happy to hear from me. Jalecia, why did you leave the hospital? Because I was feeling much better, so no need for you to be worried. I found 2 good doctors for you, Jalecia. For what? I think it would be good if you saw a good psychologist and psychiatrist. They're both black. Oh, that's nice, but I don't need to talk to any shrinks. I know why I feel the way I do. Really? Could you please tell me? Not today. I'm tired. I was hoping you might want to come stay with me for a while. I'm too old to be living with my mama. I'm comfortable here. Plus, I'm thinking of going back to school and looking for a job, and I have access to the metro here. Is your car still in the shop? Not anymore. Aunt Peggy had my extra key and she went and got it, but her car isn't running so well. Well, all this sounds great, just great. Give Peggy my best regards, and I hope you two will be very fucking happy. And I hung up. That's the end of chapter 22. What is really going on with Peggy and Jalecia? I'm really starting to feel like they playing games. They really are playing games. That's it for this chapter. I'm going to see y'all in the next chapter. Bye for now.